What's up, guys? Happy Tuesday, April 4th, 2023. How'd you guys do last night? Some more. I just love that it's baseball. It's just a beautiful day to have a beautiful day whenever there's baseball. And there's a lot of it tonight. There's a lot of it last night. It was a lot of fun. We actually, what did we do last night? We stayed in the Discord all night watching it. Basically, we had 4 games going on the screen at the same time. It was just fun sweating baseball, man. That was fun. Feel like I nailed pitching for the most part yesterday. It was on Drew Rasmussen. I did not expect to be so much higher than the field on Rasmussen, but what are you gonna do? But I also took shots on Hunter Brown, and a couple other pitchers. But it was basically a one-man show last night at pitcher, and then you could have got around with a couple other guys. Let's see, my top 2 Fanduel lineups yesterday featured Rasmussen and Hunter Brown. This one, 195.3. Really needed something from O'Neal Cruz, man. Really would have liked that. Otherwise, we caught the Brave stack. Pretty low owned, which is a little bit of irony, considering how gosh dang chalky they were the first couple days, and people just like, yeah, I'm done with them. Let me go stack Pirates. The Pirates were the chalk stack here. So, mixing and matching some of the chalkier Pirates bats with some lesser owned Braves bats. That worked out. One off Isaac Paredes. I wasn't quite sure yesterday if I wanted to go 4-4s on Fanduel or nah. I went 4-3, and the 4-3 worked out for me yesterday because I had a lot of one off oomps. And yeah, so hopefully you guys did all right. Tonight we have a better pool of pitching. So I typically feel like I do better on nights where I can really sink on a few pitchers that have upside. I think yesterday wasn't quite that slate. And the last two slates really weren't. Shout out to the live chat, man. You guys out there lurking, drop a thumbs up, say what's up in chat, be part of the community, man. Rob F, Nate D, Logan, Dylan, Travis, Sinjin, Charnicki, Hugo, Jake, Patrick. Shout out to you guys for being in the chat. Demetrius Mack gets the baller sub here on the channel. I appreciate you. What up, Ducking? What up, Mac Man? Dang Lazy Mofo, Adam. Ryan Nelson says another solid night on Yahoo. Mega Cleveland stack came through. That little game kind of shot out. I mean, I didn't stack the Athletics, but we had a come to Jesus meeting yesterday about Zach Plesac and playing bad pitchers against bad teams. I always say bad hitting beats bad pitching, and that's what we saw yesterday. But then bad hitting beat good pitching. Like Seth Brown smoked one off of Emmanuel Clase in the 9th inning yesterday. I'm like, Clase, really? Dang. So shout out to Seth Brown. What up, Shannon? What up, Justin Sports? I haven't seen you around. What's up, dude? Doubled up last night. Hey, man, I appreciate that, Mac, and I'm glad that you doubled up. And hopefully you can keep the momentum going, because these bigger slates can get crazy, very crazy. And with the stolen base stuff happening as frequent as it is, and with like yesterday, there was just really no good pitching. Every offense has a chance to go off, and then you can start seeing some crazy lineups up top. I do like the slates where we have a little better pitching to kind of neutralize things, but we all play with the same deck of cards, so we'll have some fun. 1-1K last night. Let's go, Demetrius. Let's go. What up, AOD? Hope you're doing all right. So we got a bunch of games today. We're gonna go game by game here, try to find out who we want to play, get a little player poll going. A couple of lineups to start to matriculate on to the interwebs. I was listening to part of a Yankee podcast before I went live, and they had Aaron Boone on. I didn't get to finish, but Aaron Boone said that he was going to DH Judgy today. So we'll see. I know that lineup came out, so we'll see what else they're going to do. I feel like Trevino is due for a day off. Can you believe the stack I ended up playing was a 5-3 Rangers O stack? Oh, dude, that sucks. So I will say this: when we were on the stream yesterday, that game looked pretty good because they had announced that the roof was going to be open, and then after the stream, they announced the roof was going to be closed. And that's one of those parks where the roof really matters, especially when it's 80-90 degrees in Texas versus when it's more climate controlled with the lid on it. So I backed off that game a little bit. I still had Orioles stacks. I think I'll always have Orioles stacks, just because I don't know, I like them. But I certainly I was set up to have more until that news came out. It was a high scoring night for the league. Let's see. Let me refresh. What should we do first? I guess we should check a weather report. Did Mr. Kevin Roth over at RG rotogrinders.com/weather/MLB. You guys don't have this bookmark. You probably should. Roth puts up a weather report usually on the daily. Looks like it's gonna be a clean night altogether. Winds 10-15 miles an hour, a bit in from left, nothing big. Warm winds right from Cincy. I don't think that game's on the slate. Blue Jays at the Royals. A big storm or two will pop late, Models show that it will likely be coming after the game and holding south regardless, but I'm keeping at least a low-end chance of late delay in case on ends up in the ballpark. More notable is the nice hitting weather, winds out the left. Cool. 25 miles an hour to the left, so those righty pull hitters in a good spot, especially with 2 lefties on the bump. That could be really nice. I almost said Hawks. Braves and Cardinals, few light spotty showers. Doesn't look like we'll see anything that can stop play. Warm with winds out to left. Cool. And then the Dodgers game, winds left to right. Cool. So it looks like another clean night. We've been kind of blessed for the most part, especially if you guys are new to baseball. You really haven't had to sweat weather too much. You got a little taste of it in that Padres game, which is crazy because you might never see Padres with rain for the rest of the season. But we haven't had to experience whether or not we want to play a team because the game may or may not play yet. It's coming. But enjoy it while we can. IKF is so mid. Man, there is a doghouse in Yankee land. IKF is down there, but at the very bottom is Aaron Hicks. And I like Aaron, and you know, I don't hate the players. I hate their game. And Hicksy, man, oh, he has fallen the last couple years. And then this season, he didn't make the opening day lineup. And then IKF started in center field in the second or third game over Hicks, and that like made Hicks mad. And it was like people got the impression that Hicks was going to be a platoon hitter against lefty starters, and that's when he would start. Well, apparently he went to Booney and said he's angry, he wants to play, blah blah blah. So Booney throws him in the lineup. You got a fired up player, go out there and make a case. And yesterday the Yankees were going ham. Even Franchi Cordero, new to the squad, got on the board, got himself a ribeye double. Hicksy just nothing. I think he drew a walk. So IKF is there, but IKF understands his assignment. Aaron Hicks not so much. So Hicksy's probably going to be one of those guys that might go the way of Joey Gallo, where they just might straight up DFA him. We'll see. We'll see. Which is insane because I like him, but the pinstripes are heavier for some than others, right? Are steals upside a thing this day? Absolutely, Patrick. Steals are massive this year. We've seen like a massive uptick in steals. I think, a lot of the sharps projected 25-35% increase in steals, and we are seeing opening weekend records for steals. So yes, and then I think is it Fanduel and PrizePicks, it's like +5. You get a steal and a couple hits, all of a sudden you got home run points. So what you were searching in, what you build out a roster in the last couple of years, you can kind of back up a little bit, get some more of those hit for average guys with some speed, and you kind of change the qualifications of what makes your player pool, right? You don't just need boppers. So it changes a lot. I think this is going to create a higher average cash line, and we might start seeing some crazy first place numbers, especially in the dog days of summer. Nats lineup is so bad. Yeah, it's not what you want. But usually the Nats lineup is scrappy enough that I want to pitch against. But yesterday, I didn't have a choice, and I'm happy I didn't. Usually we've had a couple snow outs by now. I think I read in the disc. Is anybody here from Utah? Apparently Utah's in it. That's rough. Hicks hating it. It sucks for Hicks. It does. The Yanks should have re-signed Gallo. Stop it. I'm glad the Twins. I keep making this joke. The new shift is helping Gallo out tremendously. Hitting homers. What's up, DFS game? Hope you're doing all right. All right, let's do some research here. We're gonna go game by game here. If you guys have already got a head start on some research, have some thoughts already, share it with the class, man. We'll go game by game here. First game on the docket. I do have a confirmed lineup for the Yankees, so let's get that in there. We're going to be using the RunDFS.com MLB VIP spreadsheet. I've coded this from scratch. It's my baby. If you guys are new to the channel, this is a tool that I've created to simplify and bridge the gap between casual understanding of the game and advanced analytical data to understand the game. And to make it even more simple, I've color-coded things Red means bad, green means good, so on and so forth. In about maybe a week or two, Aaron Hicks is in the lineup again. I'm gonna redress it. Wow, this is our punt day lineup. IKF, Hicks, Higashioka in the bottom here, and you still put Volpe in the 9th spot. Okay, all right. So it looks like a day off for Anthony Rizzo. All right, Rizzo homered yesterday. It's probably just facing a lefty thing, and you know, that's what we wanted Hicks for. So that's our confirmed Yankees lineup. We don't have a Phillies lineup. I don't expect it to be too different here. On the bump, we got Matt Strahm taking on Domingo Germán, who I guess is our de facto day 5 starter, but probably day 4. I think the way they spaced this out, since there was an off day between opening day and game 2, they were able to get to Garrett Cole faster, but it doesn't feel like they did. Anyway, run total for the Yankees is at 4.8. The Phillies at 3.9 with looks like average weather environment. So Matt Strahm coming into this season last year, 3.34 expected ERA, 1.23 whip, 27% K rate last year. That's pretty good, but it looks like it's a lot of called strikes, 18.7% called strike percentage with less than 10% swing and strike rate. So that's interesting because it looks like the 2 years prior, those were similar numbers. I guess it's on lesser sample size, but he didn't come near a 27% strikeout rate, so something to keep an eye on. The strikeouts really came against righties, 28.7% K rate to righties with just a 35% ground ball rate. So hard contact rate was really low. The fly ball rate was kind of elevated at 45%. That's high, and the home run per 9 at 1.13. So okay, well, that's what you got. Obviously, I don't want to play, or I'm not likely to play Matt Strahm here. At 5,500, like if you think that 27% K rate bites, and I can concede that the bottom half of this Yankees lineup is watered down, I just think this slate's going to give us a couple more premium shots at 25 plus. Like that's the motto today, especially on DraftKings. I'm going to need 20 or more for my pitcher spot. Probably 25 plus. We got Max, we got Shane Bieber on the bump, Framber Valdez. I like him a lot more on Fanduel usually, but there's certainly some strikeout guys up here that I don't think I'm going to include him in my player pool. And then Domingo Germán, 3.78 expected ERA, sitting about a 4 expected ERA the last 2 seasons. Decent enough sample size. Swing and strike rate last year was down 3%. Might have been a product of the sticky stuff attack, but probably would still expect around a 1 in 5 strikeout rate for him against righties. This projected Phillies lineup, we got Schwarber, Real Muto, Jay Cave, Brandon Marsh, all strike out over 1 in 4 times on average against righties. So not the worst strikeout matchup, but Germán's not somebody that instills a lot of confidence in me. And I don't love that last year he struggled mightily getting lefties out. So if you've been looking for Kyle Schwarber to get right, this is a get right spot. A 5.4 xFIP to lefties last year, a 15% K rate, a 50% fly ball rate to lefties, and a 1.3 home run per 9. Short porch might be a problem today. So Kyle Schwarber, man, if you've been at the Kyle Schwarber slot machine and if he bats in the top 3 in the lineup today, this is an elite matchup for him. I'm gonna check out the pitch report. I know Germán throws a curveball quite a bit, and it looks like the Phillies all grade pretty well. Not all, but most of them grade pretty well against the curveball. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, JT Realmuto, Bryson Stott, Alec Boehm all have extremely plus grades against the curveball. So this is a good spot for the Phillies. It does feel like a punt lineup. So I think I do get the Philly stacks here. And then we saw the Yankees use, I want to say premium arms yesterday, but arms that I wouldn't expect to be used in such a large spread, I guess you would say. We saw Jonathan Loaizaga come out for 4 outs. Prior to that, we saw Clay Holmes throw some pitches. Ian Hamilton, they were just testing him out. Now, I do think Loaizaga could be available today. They needed him, probably the same with Clay Holmes. But I was a little bit surprised that they went there. But I also just think it's early in the season. They're just trying to get some work out there. But if Domingo Germán can't go long enough, strong enough, I think you might see Albert Abreu try to bridge the gap. And then Michael King, he threw 40 pitches essentially on Saturday. Didn't look the sharpest that we've ever seen him, and his lefty problems seem like they're still there. But I think you could sell me on some Phillies stacks here. I don't know what their projected ownership is here, but I could easily create a case that they get to Herman and vice versa. So I think we add both teams to the stack list. This is not really a ranking here. I'll come back later and update it, but I think both teams are certainly in play here. Let's get caught up on chat. And Hick, yeah, if Hicks don't do nothing today, bro, he gotta get out of here. How do I get that screen? What screen? What's on my screen? It's behind a paywall at rundfs.com. Have you thought about adding stolen base stats to the spreadsheet? So I tell you what, MacMan, last year in this index portal, I actually had a BSR, which is base running grade, but it didn't feel like it was pertinent enough last season or the year before, because stolen bases were just like meh. But I do think today, this season, when I redress up this in 2 weeks to add 23 stats on the index portal, I do think we're gonna have to do something. I've also created in the past a tab that showed catcher caught stealing and stolen base, stuff like that. But again, it just felt like it wasn't. It was, I don't say noisy, but it didn't feel like it was as prevalent or important, because we just weren't seeing stolen bases impact as much. Whereas now it's different. So I'll probably have to revisit bringing that tab back. There's a couple tabs I want to reintroduce to this year's spreadsheet and continue to evolve this thing. This thing's a monster. But yeah, I do think we're gonna have to do that. Strom's only 65, 70 pitches. All right, so that's even more reason for me to not pitch him. What up, Pinstripe Pimp? Hope you're doing all right. Kevin Cash is weird for pulling Rasmussen on 66. Yeah, I think he got long enough, and it's kind of a, what they say, a good problem to have in the first week of the season. You're still trying to get guys work, and we've seen that. And I just talked about the Yankees using some of their premium arms. Clay Holmes was literally their closer before he got hurt last year, and right now I think they're just trying to get everybody work and get them where they need to be in midseason form. And kind of the same thing with the the Rays and other teams. Heck, Emmanuel Clase came out the other night. I think I told you guys I was sweating that Mariners game, and they were up by like 5 runs, and Clase came out. And again, Clase led the league in saves last year. So I think it's a good problem to have. Luxury, embarrassment of riches, where the managers still feel obligated to get some guys out. So if a guy gets you to 5 or 6 innings and you just have to bridge 3 innings, and you got 10 guys in the bullpen, you need to start getting some guys in there. Sometimes you just got to get them in there. So it sucks, but I understand why it's happening. And then the inverse is true. I think they left Hunter Brown out there too long, but they had this like pitch count that they wanted to get him to, and then he leaves with the bases loaded. Rockies' first home series versus Washington, man. What's Philly's bullpen like? So yesterday, it was bad. I don't think there's any. I can't even name anyone in their bullpen. They don't still have David Robinson, right? Phillies, they have Kimbrel, who pitched Saturday, so you might see him today. Sir Anthony Dominguez, Junior Marte came out yesterday. He's thrown 30 pitches in 2 of his last 3 games. Andrew Vasquez came out. So they have Gregory Soto, Jose Alvarado. He used to play for the Rays, I believe. I think he's not bad. But we might actually see a couple lefties today backing up Strom. Soto and Alvarado could be available. But other than like Craig Kimbrel, who I'm not even that scared of him. I've watched the Yankees terrorize him before. There's not much that I'm scared of here. Yankees are so low owned. I could see the ownership getting top 5 here, and then Volpe is such a good piece to include because of his stolen base and wraparound potential. But yeah, I actually don't have a pulse on ownership. Maybe I should. Just looked back at the info. Strom is only 60. Yeah. Bubic against the Jays with wind. Yeah, Bubic and Kikuchi. I mean, that game should put up some runs, should. And then you put some wind in the mix. And remember, that park generally plays more pitcher friendly, so the wind maybe makes it more neutral. But I think because of how bad the pitchers are, I would consider it a net positive all the way around. Let me look at stacks. Is there any like massive chalk team? I really didn't look at ownership. Oh, there is massive chalk, and it's the Blue Jays, huh? Well then, indubitably. All right, and then do we have any more lineups yet? No. All right, cool. Looking to try the 7-day pass. Any coupon for that? Coupon for a 7-day pass. There's not one at the moment. Maybe we can make one. But let's do some breakdown first. I think Dusty left Brown out to finish the inning as a learning experience, but Brown continued through it. Yeah. So they dropped a number for his pitch count. I think it was like 5 innings, or I forget what the number was. I'm gonna say like 85, 90, something like that. And then he had 2 on, and he came out. I thought he was going to get him, but he left him out there, and then he lost him again. He just completely lost the zone. And I think once you see that your pitcher losing the zone as a youngster, I think you should have just got him right there and there. But he left him out there. It cost him a run, which, since it was an extra inning game, you could make the case it cost him the game. But hey, growing pains. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do? Nationals hosting the Rays. We do have a Nats lineup. And they are throwing Lane Thomas, Joey Meneses, Jamer Candelario, Dom Smith is batting cleanup, Alex Call, Michael Chavis, Riley Adams, Victor Robles, CJ Abrams. All right, cool. Actually, CJ Abrams, let's do that. Yup. 9 total for this one. Rays with a 5-run total, 3.93 on the Nats. I think the Rays were coming in top 2 or top 3, owned as a stack. I just got a DM that says, if you get 150 likes, I'll give away a week pass. Man, we might not get to 150 viewers, but there's that. Shout out to Logan. So Rays are gaining a little steam, it looks like. But anyway, on the bump, we got Josh Fleming taking on Chad Kuhl. Last year and the several seasons prior, Chad Kuhl, not really a good pitcher. Nationals rotation might arguably be the worst in baseball. Like, maybe not even arguably. It's pretty bad. 5.3 expected ERA for Chad Kuhl last season, 1.5 whip, 4.8 Sierra, almost a 10% barrel rate, giving up a 300-plus average to righties last year on just a 16% K rate, 1.72 home run per 9 to lefties last season, big home run problems last year, and a little bit of a lot of walk problems to lefties the last couple of years. So Chad Kuhl has just not been great. Another good spot for Brandon Lau. Yesterday he was leading off, let us down. Wander Franco started the season well. Luke Raley had a pair of bombs yesterday. He's still really, really cheap if he's around that cleanup spot. And we're able to neutralize a lot of these massive strikeout rates on the Rays. The Luke Raleys, the Jose Series, Taylor Walls, like these 30%ers, and tap more into their I guess Raley has almost a 13% barrel rate, kind of like a Mike Zunino. And they're both catchers, ironically, right? Where they strike out a lot, but when they do make contact, the barrel rate's astronomical. So Chad Kuhl with just a 19% K rate to lefties, we can maybe dumb that down to half, get into that barrel rate, and Kuhl's kind of matching back with a 10% barrel rate of his own. So Rays make a lot of sense here against this Nats team. Just nothing to be fearsome. The game theory behind the Rays, and we'll talk about the Blue Jays to a further extent in a little bit, is that they're going to just be high owned, elevated ownership for any slate in baseball. You just naturally want to steer away. But if you still want to be there, like I showed you the lineup I ran last night with the Pirates chalky stack, I mixed it with a lower owned stack. So you can still get away with stacking chalk. And chalk in baseball, especially on a massive slate, Usually isn't that egregious overall, because you'll find like players on that same team come in at single digit ownership. It's just a lot of times coagulated around a couple of guys, and I would imagine guys like Brandon Lau, Luke Raley in this matchup will grab elevated ownership, and then you can sneak in some lower owned guys. So I don't stress it. Where I really start looking at chalk and be like, all right, I'll just avoid it completely, is when it gets to like 20% on a bigger slate. And that's where we see the Blue Jays today. We saw the Braves on opening day. We'll see the Rockies or Coors coming soon. We'll probably see those ownerships stack percentages go up, and then you just kind of take your chances on the rest of the slate, right? You take the field to match or exceed. So but today I don't think I need to get too drastically away from the Rays in a good spot, because a good spot's still a good spot, but sensibly manage how you bring that chalk down and how it impacts you versus the field, right? If you're all stacking Rays and the Rays do well, and you're just holding hands, well, it's going to separate you. So maybe set a rule to not really have Rays and Blue Jays stacks, you know what I mean? And avoid that combo. Just thinking out loud. Not touching Chad Cole. Josh Fleming, 17% K rate last year, 1.9 whip, 35 innings of sample size, 4.37 expected ERA. Actual ERA was over 6. The Sierra was on his side. The double-digit swing and strike rate usually gives you like a 20+% K rate, and he had a high call strike rate as well. So I wonder if what's going on with that. Is he just not? Let's see, Josh Fleming. I don't think he should be like a 30% K rate, but I do feel like these metrics suggest that he should be higher than 17%. And he gets a lineup that strikes out probably on average, what, 23, 24%. At 6,100, is there anything in Josh Fleming that we want to take a shot on at the price of a bat? I'm going to assume that ultimately I'm going to be like no, but let's see. Zone swing 70%, outside swings 37%, zone contacts 89%, 65% first pitch strike. So he's getting ahead in counts too. All right, maybe we'll see some strikeout progression coming his way. 6,100 against probably just two lefties. I guess you got to look at that righty K rate the last 2 years. So I probably don't do it. And then the Nationals against lefties. Got a couple pesky guys. Joey Meneses over 4 in the bomb detector, 193 WRC plus against lefties. He's certainly somebody that would make the player pool if we're starting to cherry pick some one-offs. Lane Thomas batting 290 against lefties last couple seasons with an 842 OPS like that. Jamer Candelario coming from Detroit. Some green, right? Not massively. And then Dom Smith batting 299. But that's a lefty-lefty matchup. I wonder if that's a sample size thing. The bottom half of this lineup gets ugly, so I don't know that I'd even call it a sub stack, but if you're running some 4-3-1s or any type of stack combos that allow some floaters, I do think Joey Meneses has a case to be involved in the conversation here, and he should come in at reasonable ownership at 4,600. I can see a lot of people just want to put that money into something else, and look how drastically differently priced he is versus the rest of his team on DK. That's crazy. Ray stack writes itself. Chad Cool's bad. Stack the Rays. Cool. Let's see. Let's get caught up. When you making a stochastic appearance again, whenever they call me, but it doesn't look like they're doing baseball as the same as last year, so it might see me a lot less. But hey, man, whoever wants to call and talk some baseball, I'm down to talk baseball. I miss Terry. I told him the other day, man, I'm gonna cry if me and Terry don't get to talk baseball soon. Fleming went 72 pitches last spring training. Okay, so he might have a long leash, but I don't know that it's a wow me spot when it comes to strikeout potential. But at 6,100, you don't need a whole lot. So if you grab an ace with him in the SB2 and then beefy bats, like, I wouldn't push back. But I tend to not get cute at pitching. The bigger the slate, usually there's more strikeout upside spots. And like I said, we get hyper focus on this 12% K rate to righties. Same thing with Plesac last night against the Athletics. If you put a contact pitcher against a strikeout team, it doesn't mean the contact pitcher is going to get strikeouts. It usually means the contact team is, or the strikeout team is going to hit for contact, right? It's the big leagues. We need more of you and Terry together. Yeah, I agree, man. Me and Terry just we're seam heads. I'm going to be on the Rays all these cake matchups to start the season. Yeah, and the beautiful thing about the Rays is I know the Yankees are going to get some of these same. Every team's playing every team this year, so it's going to be fun. 4-man card stack, a 2-man Rays stack gives me a chance to get different. I think Cardinals will be popular tonight. If that's the case, I love Cardinals against the lefty. And like I said, I think it only looked like 2 teams were getting crazy numbers ownership-wise. But, yeah. You and Team Brian Maldonado is insane. Man, I appreciate that. I love Terry. Terry, I think, is like the smartest guy when it comes to baseball. And DFS, like the perfect mix. I love Eric. No. Eric's the homie, too. I love everyone over. What? I can't think of anyone I've ever done a show with that I didn't love. All right, let's move on from this game to the next game. Double check lineups. Looks like the Phillies lineup did come out. Well, I'll double check it real quick since we're at a pause, an impasse. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber's batting second. Alec Bohm is batting third. Interesting. Derek Hall is batting cleanup. Nick Castellanos, Bryson Stott, Jake Cave, Brandon Marsh. So it looks like JT Realmuto's got the day off, huh? It's like 2 steps forward, 2 steps back. JK, what did I miss? Oh, yeah, Bryson Stott, Cave, Marsh, and Stubbs. Is that Garrett Stubbs? I just see Stubbs. I'm assuming it's Garrett Stubbs. Yeah, it is. Wasn't he on the Rockies? So that's also interesting. If I recall, I think JT Realmuto has, if not the fastest pop time in baseball, one of the fastest. So for him to not be in the lineup, we've been talking about the importance of stolen bases, or the presence of stolen bases. That's something to keep an eye on when those elite tier catchers have the day off. So Volpe's been a guy that's showing a lot of speed. We saw Rizzo try to get picked off yesterday, so he was going to try to steal. Trying to think who else. Glaber would probably be a stolen base threat. Judgy had like 15 steals last season, so I don't know, just something to think about. All right, let's move on to Pirates game. Goldie Homer, I could see that. Do you have any ownership of the top stacks? I don't do ownership, but like on Fantasy Cruncher, it'll tell you like player ownership and then stochastic. If you're looking for ownership projections, I think you should definitely look at stochastic for that. I don't even know how to begin to project ownership. I just think out loud. Heaney and Globe Life with roof closed. Bieber gets A's. Yeah, there's a couple spots. Had a Rizzo Yoshida home run parlay yesterday. Nice, Holmes. Yoshida grabbing his first one. Rizzo short. Actually, Rizzo smoked that one. Who got the short porch yesterday? I think it was I want to say it was a Philly. I don't know. Pirates throwing Roansy Contreras taking on Nick Pivetta. We have got a run total for the Pirates at 4.2. Red Sox at 5. And what we've seen in Fenway to start the season is a lot of runs, a lot of paper cuts, a couple bombs. And then we saw yesterday the Red Sox bullpen also were to give up some hits here. So might expect more of the same. Contreras last year, 4.43 expected ERA, over $1.25 on the whip, an 11% barrel rate. That's not what you want. You did have almost a 13% swing and strike rate and a 17% call strike rate. So you could see a path for strikeouts to start to come. But he only had a 21% K rate last year overall. So we might see that improve. I don't think it'd be this particular matchup because there's a lot of low K rates in this Red Sox lineup. And then Nick Pivetta on the other side here, 4.65 expected ERA, almost a 1.4 whip. But we have years of sample size of Pivetta here, and we know that he can give up power, and he struggles to throw strikes against lefties. And if the Pirates replicate what they threw out yesterday against a righty, you might see O'Neill, Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Santana. Santana not going to hit for a lot of anything, but he will be an OBP machine that can draw walks. So might be something to take advantage of there. And a lot of projected lefties here. So there's a tough spot for Nick Pivetta. Theoretically, just thinking about handedness of the opposing team and the fact that he's just really not that good, especially against lefties. So yeah, I don't think I'm getting to pitchers in this game, and I'll once again just get to stack in Fenway Park. So let's throw them in the stack list here. And I don't know that I like the Pirates as much as I did yesterday, but it's still a plus spot. It's still a series. Like, there hasn't been one day where I looked at Red Sox pitching and been like, ooh, I want to avoid days where he might be active. It's just looking like it's all systems go. And then we've seen a lot of bad defense in Fenway from the Orioles, the Red Sox, and the Pirates. Richard Byer, Ryan Brazier threw 12 pitches there, so he might be available today. Josh Winkowski, John Schreiber, Chris Martin. So, and even Kenley Jansen, it's like he's not the same, but he's probably somebody that it's gonna be closer to high leverage situation than if it did shoot out. So yeah, I'm not too worried about it. I think we'll get quality 8-9 innings of at bats here. So I'm on the offense, not touching the pitching. Stubbs is 11th on pop time, so that's actually way better than I thought. All right, what else we got? What do you think about Raw last night? I didn't really watch Raw. I was watching Yankees, but I've heard a lot of not great opinions on Raw. Eric locked in Joey Gallo homer for this morning. I'm happy that Eric gets to enjoy Joey Gallo. I'm not salty. I'm just happy for Joey Gallo. Oh, that was great. Royals looking nice because of steals. Even crappy Nicky Lopez in play. Yeah, we'll see how. I don't know. I think because of the limited pickoffs, you'll start seeing some. But historically, if I'm trying to chase stolen bases, left-handed pitchers are a little harder to steal on. But I'm not too. I wouldn't overthink it. I'm just, get on base, steal a base, whatever. Nolan and Paul stack with hitters. Before them, we're always in danger, so play more just for fun. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to the next game. Mets at the Brewers. Do we have lineups for this one? Looks like the Mets lineup just came out. They got Brandon Nimmo leading off. Starling Marte, Francisco Lindor, Pete Alonso, Tommy Pham is batting fifth. Mark Canha, Jeff McNeil. You're Jeff McNeely. Eduardo Escobar and Tomas Nido up against Wade Miley. Escobar against a lefty. Why would they not? That's going to be my rant every time. Eduardo Escobar should not be batting eighth against a contact lefty, bro. Come on, man. Do better. Wade Miley taking on Max Scherzer. Implied run total for the Mets, 4.5. Brewers, 3.7. Wade Miley at 3.86. Expected ERA, 17% K rate. Pitches to contact intentionally. 56% ground ball rate to righties. 40% to lefties. So actually gives up a high line drive rate to lefties. And that's been the case for 3 seasons going. So maybe Brandon Nimmo is a little bit sneakier. But generally speaking, if you're going to dare guys like Pete Alonso to put the ball in play, I'm interested. But because he has such a high ground ball rate, it's not something that is screaming power spot. But yeah, I'd be okay if you want to take some shots on the Mets. I don't think they're going to make a front end for me, but certainly would cherry pick at worst. And I really wish they would, against lefties, give Eduardo Escobar a shot. I mean, 244 ISO the last 2 years against lefties. This guy smacks lefties. So Scherzer on the bump for the Mets here against the Brewers. This version of the Brewers lineup, I don't know. I don't overthink strikeout percentages for a guy like Max. He's just so much better that you can go out there and get strikeouts. But looking at this projected lineup, Willy Adames, William Contreras, Garrett Mitchell, and then Turang and Weimer. I don't have anything for them in terms of expected strikeouts, but that usually means that they're new to the big leagues, which means they've never seen Max Scherzer in action before, which means advantage Max Scherzer. Fudge. Turang. And this is Max's second start. So we're starting to see some second start guys. So we can also look at first start results and check on stuff like velo, swing and strike rate, stuff like that. Am I in New York? No, I'm in Texas. I'm from Staten Island, but I've lived in Texas for quite a bit, probably like the last 10 years. But I've been a nomadic most of my life, but I've just started to settle down once I had a kid, you know. Turang in the minors, patted, let's see, 269, meh. Let me see what them splits do. Love this stream from Alex Gordon's basement. You know, I thought about Alex Gordon yesterday because I saw Jackie Bradley Jr. playing, and then I saw help me out. He's on the Dodgers. Jason Hayward. So I saw those two playing. I was like, yeah, I guess defense will keep you on a team forever. Then I remembered how they held on to Alex Gordon for a minute. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Shaolin, Wu-Tang Clan, ain't nothing there. South Beach. Last year against the righties, 70 strikeouts in 351 at bats. All right, so nothing that I'm trepidatious of. So Max Scherzer, without question, is going to be introduced to the pitching player pool. We're going to start him off as a tier 2. Let's go see what Max was, what kind of information Max's first start against the Marlins will give us. Max 6 strikeouts on PrizePicks. Let's look. I mean, it's always just a really low number for Max. How many pitches did Max go? I feel like Max went 100 pitches in spring. Yeah, he went 91 pitches there. Strikeout per inning, 5 ground balls, 2 walks. It's perfectly fine. Game log, plate discipline. He had a 14% swing and strike rate and an 82% first pitch strike. That's an amazing combination right there. We love that. Love that for you. Let's go to pitch type. He threw average fastball velocity about 93.2 miles an hour. Backed it up with a slider at 84. Show me cutter, show me curveball. A little bit of a change up. In comparison to last season, I guess we'll look at the fastball velocity first and foremost. 94. So you could get a little bit more, but it's not off immensely. So everything's pretty in line to who Max Scherzer is. So yeah, no concerns here. It looks like he's gonna be fully stressed out. You get Max Scherzer, you get a pretty good shot at a quality start. Has to be one of our favorite pitchers to target today. Even 10.8 on both sites. Love it. Wade Miley, no, not playing Wade Miley. Not stacking Brewers. Max can give up an errant bomb to a lefty, almost a 1.4 homer per 9 last year to a lefty. Has had over a 1 homer per 9 against lefties for the last 3 seasons. Elevated fly ball rate. Yelich, Winker, Rowdy Tellez. Maybe Rowdy Tellez with his 240 ISO and sub 20% K rate would be the guy I'm most scared of. But that's nothing. I'm not stacking against Max ever, you know. Waiting on Alex and bartending for him. That's awesome. Not garage. It is kind of like a garage here. The stream setup is still not complete. But I kind of like it. I like being this close to the outside when I'm streaming, obviously. Although we have chickens, So one of these days, you're gonna hear some chickens. Look at all these chickens. And then like in the mornings, I'm not used to the chickens or the roosters crowing like from before I moved. So it's cool though. It's cool. I like living near aminals. All right, let's move on to the next game. See if there's any lineups. We got Rangers, Rays, Astros. We just got a bunch of lineups spit out, but it doesn't look like there's a Blue Jays lineup. All right, cool. So this looks like the game of the day in terms of ownership and offense. You say Kikuchi taking on Chris Bubich. Royals lineup is confirmed. Waiting on that Blue Jays lineup. The run totals for the Blue Jays is at 5.8. I don't know that I've ever seen a 6-run total in Kauffman Stadium in modern history. I mean, that's incredible. Those are Coors levels. Oh, and okay. So while we're here, the Max Scherzer was today's taco. So yeah, they reduced the strikeout prop from 7.5 to 6. So absolutely, I would take advantage of that. 20% off the initial strikeout. I don't know what the juice is on 7.5 for the books, but I would imagine that's pretty good. So if you're into some taco shopping today, we get a couple hours on the Scherzer, 2.5 hours for Scherzer. I would take it. Try scrambling a duck egg with 2 chicken eggs. I would just rather use a ladle or something. I don't know. I'm just kidding. Now my sister, she does a lot of the holistic, healthy stuff, man. So having chickens and eggs and all that stuff, it's cool. It's fascinating. Wind's blowing out to left, and we saw Kevin Roth from Rotogrinders mention this. There is winds out to left at a whopping 25 miles an hour on a warm day, and the temps are mid to high 70s. So your righty pull hitters against lefty pitching should be able to go to town. And we already have a couple of decent home run rates. I actually have better bomb detector numbers for the Royals against Kikuchi than the inverse. So maybe that's the way to get access to a positive hitting environment. Where are the Royals at in ownership? Royals are really low in ownership. So all eyes are on the Blue Jays, and I get it. They're nasty. But the Royals are not in a bad spot in and of themselves against Kikuchi. Last year, Kikuchi continued to be a dreadful arm. 1.3 plus whip for 3 years straight. The barrel rate on him, 15%. There were days where he would piggyback Jose Barrios, and it was just money. So I don't know that. I guess we could look at his spring training stuff or results. But it feels like I'm just gonna be stacking this game. Don't feed them Purina. I don't feed them. I don't. When I first moved from New York to Texas, I lived on a farm. It was such a culture shock. I didn't know it was crazy, man. But I grew to love it. I feel like that's a blessed experience to be able to live the city life and the farm life, and just be able to say you've done it. No homers in spring for Kikuchi. Still a fly ball pitcher though. Whip was better. Here's a game where he went 5 innings against Minnesota, 3 hits, 1 hit by pitch, 1 walk, didn't give up a homer, but had a 0.87 ground out to air out ratio. I mean, he's still leaning more to the fly ball, so I don't want to overreact to the spring training, but I don't know, look at that game. Where in New York did I live? South Beach, Staten Island. We went to PS 39 and IS 49. Is there anyone out there that has been to either one of those schools? That would be incredible. So in that game, the Twins had Byron Buxton, Carlos Correa, Christian Vasquez, Kyle Garlick, Nick Gordon. I don't know who these kids are. Ryan Lamar. So I mean, they had some of their guys, and Kikuchi was able to get through there. So I don't know. I'm just gonna trust that he's not fixed yet, and I'm gonna attack both sides. So we'll go Blue Jays. We'll go Royals. But remember, the Blue Jays, if we're gonna get to the Blue Jays stack, looks like they're gonna be Coors Field ownership. So maybe we mix them in with lower owned stacks. So at last glance, it was like Blue Jays and Rays. So I feel like an obvious way to at least start having distinction from the field or not be the same is to not have Blue Jays and Rays stacks together, if that makes sense. But it just makes a lot of sense to be here. Rosarena is your dong pick. Harold Ramirez dong. Kikuchi Springs number. Yeah, Kikuchi's spring numbers are a lot better than I would expect, but I don't know. This guy's always getting hyped up. Like, he still had a good strikeout rate last year, 27%. It's just the stuff in the middle, the barrel rate, the walk rate. Those are the things you don't want. And that 2.5 home run per 9 to righties, not what you want. 43% hard contact rate, not what you want. So Bomb Detector likes Bobby Witt, Edward Olivares, Salvi historically against lefties. Yes, please. 4.3 has got to be up there on the Bomb Detector. Like, yeah, that's number 2 to Zanino. So Salvi's looking good. Franmil Reyes. Oh, man. Liking the Royals for sure. Let me see the bullpen usage for the Blue Jays. Simber pitched yesterday. If you guys seen Adam Simber's shoes, he looked like he's wearing clown shoes. Got some big feet. Zach Pop. Basically, their whole bullpen's available, including Jordan Romano. Pretty good. All right. I'm just stacking the ballpark here, but no, the Blue Jays are coming with ownership. Luke Raley was my Don pick yesterday. Raley went nuts. What's up, Baho? Talking to me and my whole team with the Royals. I mean, it's just one of those spots where you feel kind of dumb to not pick on Kikuchi after his last really 3 seasons. And if we've learned anything, we've even seen it this year. Like, spring training doesn't matter that much. Most of it is pitchers getting stressed out. It especially doesn't matter. I guess it's more impressive for Kikuchi to have clean results based on his history and not giving up homers, stuff like that in those spring training parks. But I don't know. I don't overreact to it. Let's move on. Any Braves lineup just came out. So it's looking like Ronald Acuna, Matt Olson, Austin Riley. I hate Austin. Travis d'Arnaud, Ozzie Albies, Michael Harris batting 6th. Murphy. Sean Murphy? He thick. Orlando Arcia and Kevin Pillar. Interesting. And the Cardinals lineup, do we have that? I don't see it. Yeah, I just got it. All right. Tommy Edman, Dylan Carlson. Carlson's a switchy, right? I believe he is. Goldie, Arenado, Wilson Contreras, Tyler O'Neill. Come on, bro. Put him higher. Jordan Walker. Oh, yeah. This is looking like I need to. And Taylor Motter, their emergency catcher, I learned the other day. Motter's a lefty? No, he's a righty. And Carlson's a switchy, right? I need to check a couple of those. Carlson's a switchy. Who's the other one I wasn't sure about? One, Yepez. Is he a lefty or righty? Righty. So this is a really good lineup. Yeah, I'm with you guys. Cardinals against the lefty has been like the last 3 years, something I do. A lot of times it trolls me, but I mean, you just can't. These names, bro. Look at this. It's like a collective OPS of like 950 against lefties. And then you add Jordan Walker into the mix, who is going to be good. We need to get some information on this Braves pitcher. Dodd. So let's look at minor. What a name, too. Dylan Dodd. What up, Obi? What up, Catelza? What up, Danny? James? Just click the like. I appreciate that. My boy Logan said that if we get 150 likes, he's going to buy a week pass to be given away. So, you know, I don't think we get 150 because I don't know if we're getting 150 viewers, but just something to strive for. In the minors last year, Dylan Dodd, 142 innings pitched, 153 strikeouts, a solid whip. So more than a strikeout per inning with a solid whip. Like, you could use that. Now we're seeing, obviously, stats don't transfer 1-to-1 to the majors, and this is a really good Cardinals team for a lefty to have to face in his debut, right? 65 innings against righties, 60, so less than a strikeout per inning to righties last year. And what about the homers? 5 homers and 65. So that's actually high. Like I usually say like 1 homer for every 10 innings pitched, right? Or essentially a home run per 9. So like that's attackable. Still had a higher ground out, like he was a 1.1 ground out to air out ratio, but a 1.2 whip. But this is not enough to get me away from these guys against a prove yourself lefty. So I'm with you guys. We'll stack some Cardinals, and it's even Matt's on the bump for the Cardinals. He had a $1.25 on the whip last year. The whip has been pretty high the last couple of years. The expected ERA was on his side, so he was somewhat unlucky results-wise last year with a good strikeout percentage, good called strike percentage, 12% swinging strike rate. So one of those spots where both pitchers aren't as bad as and Dodd, I won't give Dodd the feather yet, like, but his minor stuff looks just fine. But with Matt's, he certainly was a little on the unlucky side in terms of what the matchups are telling us, but he's still not like blow me away. And lefties against the Braves, I think we're taking the talent here, and the offenses are way more fun to sweat in this one than the pitchers. So I don't think I'm gonna get. I'm definitely probably not pitching either pitcher. And we're just having fun with these stacks because the OPSs are nuts against lefties for the first 5 of each order. So yeah, Cardinals and Braves. Welcome to the party. Kikuchi going Kikuchi. Yep. I feel like every season there's hype on Kikuchi, and then it just falls out. It's kind of like Jose Barrios. Like, why are people playing Jose Barrios yesterday? And it's, oh yeah, he's Jose Barrios. He sucks. What are we doing? Dodd was solid. Yeah, Dodd looks solid in the minors too. So, like, if Dodd doesn't get tore up, or if Steven Matz doesn't get tore up, I get it. It's not like a shock, but these, I mean, you just can't pass up these type of numbers, man. Like, especially on the Braves side, like, you got a lane of 300 plus hitters against lefties. Kind of the same on the card. Goldie's batting 384 in the last 2 years against left. That's just nuts. And his whole career is wild. It says a 1.2 OPS. And you just have to side to that. With that much sample size, I just have to. So I'm going with the offenses here. I'm seriously about the lock button Fleming. Why? Don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know the context of how many lineups you're running, but yikes. Right now I'm playing the early only Fanduel. All right. I'm not playing that one, but yeah. Vladdy and Bo Bichette looking juicy for total bases on PrizePicks. O'Neal Cruz against Pivetta one off. Yeah, I wouldn't mind that. He owes me from yesterday. Slot machines in baseball are real, bro. Day late it. I think Kyle Schwarber's gonna be due, and O'Neal Cruz certainly is due. But there was some at bats where O'Neal Cruz was a little, I don't know, it was frustrating. Look at this WRC plus lane against lefties too. That's wild. Yeah, let's look at this game on PrizePicks, huh? So Cardinals. Nolan Arenado, 1.5 total, 8 fantasy. But they don't give us many Cardinals, and O'Neill's at 1.5 total bases. Oh, Goldie and Arenado are interesting. Goldie at 8 fantasy points. I would probably take that. What about the Blue Jays? Where are we getting over here? Bichette, fantasy. I don't know why, but I prefer for most guys taking fantasy over total bases, just because, like on total bases, it's only for hits, right? So if like Bichette or Vladdy got walked or hit by pitch, that starts the counter for the fantasy score, and then on that offense they have a good shot of just getting hit to home plate. Maybe Bichette more so than Vladdy could steal a base. So I usually take the fantasy points where I can over the total bases. But that's a me thing. It doesn't have to be a you thing. Still no home run triangles, huh? All right. Seattle gets to face Suarez, who sucks, so maybe some Mariners. Yeah, I don't mind that. Any pinch hit risk for the Cardinals bats? Maybe Taylor Motter. There's a lot. So who's missing? Nolan Gorman. Maybe there's a lane for Nolan Gorman to come in if it's a tight game. That's probably what I would look at. Nolan Gorman. All right. Make sure I miss that. See him going 6 with high strikeout upside. Josh Fleming, Jake? I don't really see the strikeout upside, Fleming. I mean, Josh. Jake. Jesus. So here's what I would be looking at, Jake. Yeah, overall, Fleming has a 17% K rate. He does. But this national lineup has all but 2 righties, right? So Dom Smith and CJ Abrams are the only ones that are going to tap into his crazy strikeout numbers to lefties. If you focus on his last 2 years against righties, we're working with an 11 and 12% strikeout rate. So, and this is not really a massive K spot. Yeah, there's Michael Chavis and Riley Adams, but you're to 1 in 10 at bats. You know, barely a little over 1 is the strike. So I don't know that the strikeout upside's the term I would use. Surely he could, but I pre-flop, I'm not really seeing how we could project that with conviction. Great ground ball rate. He could eat some innings, but I just don't know that strikeout upside is what I would call pre-flop. You know what I mean? Price and steal the win, stuff like that I could see, but I would kind of be conservative in projecting him to get a ton of strikeouts with those numbers. Brian Reynolds or Cruz for the Pirates as a one-off. Both are good. Reynolds is maybe a little bit more stable on getting on base for you, but both are fine. If Cruz does get on base, he's electric. He can run. If a gun to my head, I'd probably go Brian Reynolds, but it's not that far from being a coin flip. Thoughts on Cleveland versus JP Sears, former Yankee great? I'm fine with it. It's a good team. Rangers and the Orioles. We have these lineups out. We have a Rangers lineup. Yes. All right, Marcus Semien, Corey Seager, Nate Lowe, Adolis Garcia, Josh Young, Robbie Grossman, Mitch Gava, Brad Miller, Ezekiel Duran over Bubba. Not Bubba. Click that, confirm it. And then, was there something about the roof today? They opened and then closed it midday in terms of saying what it was going to be. Did they say anything about the roof today? Globe Life will close roof. All right, so roof is closed. So So this park plays pitcher friendly when the roof is shut. Andrew Heaney versus Kyle Gibson, revenge. So Heaney with the Dodgers, another guy leaves the Yankees. I'm happy for you. 3.39 expected ERA, 35.5% K rate, 17% swing and strike rate. Just nutty numbers. So. Now, some of that was out of the pen, right? So it will inflate based on positive matchups, but we've always known Heaney could be a strikeout guy. He just mixes in with some issues, kind of like I guess Robbie Ray to an extent. Ray's probably like better, but strikeout potential is there. And this Orioles lineup is kind of a risk reward spot because there are certainly some strikeouts in here, especially against lefties. So I do think we got to start adding some more pitchers to the pool. I think Andrew Heaney gets added to the tier 3 here. And this is probably a both sides of the fence spot. Because Orioles are going to be a team I get to a lot. But with the roof closed, I'm okay with making them one of my like 5-6 percenters. So let's do that. Let's move them down here. And then Kyle Gibson. Thoughts on a low on Cardinals stack? Man, I feel like this whole chat's been on the Cardinals. And by the way, I'm with you. But the fact that everyone's on the Cardinals with the prestitation, is that a word? That they're low owned. I was like, are they really going to be low owned here? Maybe we're bubble popping. But the Cardinals against a lefty. It honestly could be Clayton Kershaw, and I would be on them. Like, they're so good, especially against lefties. Maybe I should have said high strikeout upside and quality start bonus at his price point. Ray Staff is like one pitcher trying to one up the pitcher from the day before. Yeah, I like the matchup's fine, and he's fine. Like, it's not a bad pitcher, but if he, I don't know. If he had like 4 Ks in 6 innings, I wouldn't be surprised either. But anyway, with that said, like lock button and strikeout upside, like those are probably 2 areas where I'm not at. But I don't think, like, I'm not picking on him. I'm not stacking the Nats. But maybe he'll shut me up. But the 11% K rate to 7 of the 9 hitters that they are putting out scares me. Kyle Gibson. Are we playing Kyle Gibson? Probably not. 4.46 expected ERA last year. 1.34 on the whip. Never really been a blow me by strikeout guy. That rhymed. 22.7% K rate to righty. 3.37 on the xFIP. Half and half righty lefties here. Corey Seager, Nate Lowe, Robbie Grossman, Brad Miller. There are some Ks here. The 6,700 Kyle Gibson got spoiled potential in a plus park with a strong lane. It's probably one of those, if it happens, it happens, but Gundacker will not be part of this. All right. 5 innings in his first outing, 3 Ks, 8 ground balls. That's about the Kyle Gibson experience. No homers. And that's what you hate, when these contact guys give up 6 runs, but they're not going to give up bombs. So I don't think I'm getting the Kyle Gibson in the pool. I do get to Heaney. Little, but I do inversely like the Orioles as a low stack. The Orioles are one of those teams that have that good mix of power, and we're seeing a lot of stolen base. A lot of stolen base potential. Jorge Mateo will run. Yeah, so I'll probably always stack them. Do we stack the Rangers? Do we want to get to the Rangers? Orioles pitching staff has not been anything that I'm too scared of. I don't know that we're going to project homers off of Gibby. I guess we could, but probably not. No one's... The highest bomb rating is Corey Seager. I might get to a couple low percentage, but these are just like the why nots. Like, it's one of those, if I don't ever want to play the pitcher, I should probably have a couple of back pocket stacks against the pitcher. Besides the Jays, yeah. Only take the O's if Heaney is chalky. I think it's a neutral spot. I don't know. Actually, I don't know. Let me see. Pitchers. I would imagine like Max and Bieber will be the apple of the field's eyes. Framber's up there as well. Yeah, Heaney's not really grabbing a ton. Actually, yeah, he is. 1-4. And on Fanduel, maybe he's less owned on Fanduel. It's not chalky, but he's not going to be uncommon. It's fine. It's like a neutral spot. I'll take both sides. Is Jordan Walker a baby Judge? Now wait a minute. No, wait a minute. God dang it. we hold up. Things we don't say. Nah, Jordan Walker looks good. But don't compare him to someone as great as Judge. Maybe a baby Trout. High SB2. Yeah, Heaney's looking. He's gonna grab some ownership, and so I'll be on both sides of that. All right, so Tigers and the Astros. Where are the Astros fans at? Huh? Yesterday, losing to the Tigers, bro. What are we doing? Beat the teams you're supposed to beat. Do we have lineups for this game? We have the Astros lineup. Jeremy Pena, Alex Bregman, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Abreu, Kyle Tucker, Corey Julks, capital letters, Jake Myers, Mauricio Dubon, and Martin Maldonado. So no Tigers lineup yet. Yeah, no Tigers lineup yet. Implied run total for this game is 7.5. Astros 4.8. The Tigers 2.67. Anytime you see a team implied for under 3 runs, boy, is that tempting just from a chip in a chair standpoint in the sports betting world. But Framber Valdez is that guy. 2.82 ERA, 3.14 Sierra, 3.3 expected ERA, 23.5% K rate. So a guy that pitches more to contact but can still get strikeouts. So I think a good comp to him is like maybe like Sandy Alcantara, where he's gonna eat you some innings, can get you strikeouts. But Framber Valdez is the guy that I believe leads the league in ground ball rate and negative launch angle. 68% ground ball rate to righties, 61% to lefties. He is probably going to be my highest owned FanDuel pitcher, and I'll push back on chalky batters. I'm not going to push back on chalky pitchers that are in good spots. Framber Valdez is up there. Him and Max. I like pitching tonight, and Valdez should be able to cook it. And then for the Astros, for them to go to the bullpen, I guess they went to the bullpen as expected yesterday because they weren't going to put the kid in there for more than 5. But for them to have to go in a couple extra innings, they went to all but 2 guys in the pen. So I don't know if they've sent guys down and back up. But Abreu, Blanco, Maton, Montero, Neris, Ryan Presley, that's their guy. So Ryan Stanek and Seth Martin. So it would behoove them if Valdez ate like 7 innings here too. So I like Valdez a lot. And on FanDuel with the quality start bonus and likely scooping the win means that much more. So we're playing some Valdez. I don't want to ever get cute with picking on him because even if a couple of those ground balls bleed into singles, it's just not a guy that gives up bombs. So no Tigers. Matt Manning on the bump. 4 expected ERA last year, 4.45 Sierra, 18% K rate. None of that is anything that I want against the Astros. So we will probably get to a couple Astros stacks. It does fall off a cliff. Now, Jolks looks more red than he actually is. He's going to be fine. Bottom 3 of these guys, sure, we have sample size on them to not look as good. But 1 through 6, I would include in my Astro stacks considerations. And then Matt Manning had a over 1 homer per 9 last year to lefties. If you're only gonna have a 16% K rate against a guy like Yordan Alvarez and Kyle Tucker, I'm interested. So we'll get to some Astros bats, but absolutely give me Valdez. Absolutely. Let's get caught up on chat. I'm going with some Orioles. Not worried about Heaney. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm fine with Orioles stacks. I'm a little worried about Heaney, just because of the strikeouts. But I'm on both sides of the fence on that game. Alex Verdugo hitting for the cycle tonight. Maybe. Verdugo is one of those Red Sox that's hard to hate, man. Sometimes when he plays in New York, I think at least twice in like the last season, they've mic'd him up. And it's just fun to hear him interacting with the fans in left field in Yankee Stadium. Valdez Urias, I think that's fine. I think just 5 pitchers tonight I really like. So Ramirez not starting. My dong take crushed before the game even played. That's just tough. Maybe he'll pinch hit. Wait, what is this song? My playlist has left into a different. I don't want to get copyrighted, so I don't know. I do like this beat though, but it's called Stream Radio. Let me see. Is this safe? I better not. I need some. Alright, we'll go back to. Sorry. Imagine every player you roster hits a home run, possible or not. It happens all the time. Usually first place in tournaments. Well, maybe not so much this year, but like, years past where home runs were king. Very possible. What's the likes update? We're at 75, pushing 200. Now not impossible. We're halfway there. So if you're just tuning in, our boy Logan said he would sponsor a week pass giveaway if we got to 150 likes. I don't think it's possible. I'm gonna be honest. I don't think it's possible. Maybe I doubt you guys. I don't know. I more so doubt the math. Guardians and Athletics. Dang, we're already down here. We got Shane Bieber. His mama don't like me, and she like everyone. Taking on JP Sears, former Yankee great. Guardians have a 3.76 run total. The Athletics join the Tigers in a sub 3 run total, 2.74. Shane Bieber, 25% K rate last year, 14% swing and strike rate. Down. 25% K rate is down from the 33 in the season prior, the 41 the season prior. Former Cy Young guy. But obviously an elite matchup at Elite Park. Yeah, the Athletics put some runs on the board yesterday, but Zach Plesac, I know Shane Bieber, and you, sir, or no Shane Bieber. Let's see, Shane Bieber spring training. We do have a Blue Jays lineup, okay. So Love is free 2030. We might get more, might get some VOD likes. I don't know. What up, Vic? Oh. Look at it. Look, selling it. I love it. Regular season. Let's go. Spring training. See how Mr. Bieber looked in spring. 2023, he went 23 innings, 25 Ks, over a strikeout per inning, 1 bomb, 13 hits. That looks pretty good to me. Looks pretty good to me. Let's go to game log. What kind of pitch count might we expect? Oh wait, he already pitched? I missed that. Was that on like not the main site? 87 pitches. All right, so he's fully stretched out. Only 3 strikeouts against Seattle. What happened there? Seattle's good, but should still get strikeouts. Plate discipline. He had 11.5% swing and strike rate in that game. So it looks like he's a little bit unlucky. 74% first pitch strike. Pitch type. Fastball, slider, cutter. Fastball's at 91. Last year's 91. So that's about right. Curve. Did he not use the curve as much? Curveball's 7%. And this isn't one game, but curveball is a pitch that he's leaned on decent amount, 18% last year. Positive, one of his more positive pitches. So maybe we'll start seeing the curveball come back for him. So I just think he got a little bit unlucky with the strikeouts. All right, well, we're playing Shane Bieber today. Stretched out. What was his xFIP in that game? Batted ball, 4.56 xFIP. Yikes, that's not what you want. Ground ball rate's at 45%, so half and half on the ground ball, fly ball. All right, I'm just gonna trust that this will get right spot. Stretched out, game 2, got the jitters out. Athletics are not the Mariners we're in. Probably not stacking the Athletics either. Yeah, no. JP Sears on the bump for the Athletics, 4.5 expected ERA, 1.3 WHIP. Throw strikes. He'll throw strikes. Doesn't really miss bats. So if you're gonna throw a lefty against the Guardians, I'm interested in Ahmed Rosario, J-Ram, Josh Bell. We saw them hit parade yesterday. And then Mike Zunino. Check this out. 4.57 rating on the bomb detector. That is not a mistake. Do not adjust your sets. Mike Zunino has a 20% barrel rate when he has a batted ball event with a 28% K rate. So I talked about this concept earlier, is when you put a contact pitcher against something like that where you can neutralize the high K rates, you tap into that barrel rate a little bit more. And JP Sears has just a 17% K rate to righties, so we might be able to chop that down to like a implied 18-19% K rate, which means he's more likely to put the ball in play and tap into that 1.1 OPS against lefties and a 4.57 rating on the bomb detector. Usually that's coupled with like very low sample size. Today it comes with some sample size. So the pushback here, much like Eduardo Escobar, is you would like to see it Zunino bat higher in the lineup, but he's not. So it is what it is. 2,100 on Fanduel. Love that price. So we're gonna stack. Yeah, we're gonna get to some Guardians for sure. No Sears, no Athletics, Shane Bieber, yes. But Guardians, got a lot of stacks cooking today. Let's get caught up on chat. Learning this baseball, yes sir. Grew up in Staten Island, West Brighton Projects. Went to PS 18 and IS 27. What up, Mike? That's awesome. The projects, man. New York had the real projects, them 100-floor projects, right? Machado and the Padre manager just got tossed for arguing a batter clock violation to end the inning. Dang. Yeah, we had to ban the Cats kid. I don't believe that he's a real person. Sean, I think, is a real guy. So I let Sean, and Sean doesn't get toxic. That guy, there's no way that guy was saying stuff as an actual human being and believed it. So I just thought he's like an ultimate troll, which is good for chat engagement, I guess, for the algorithm, but we don't need it. We don't need it. Okay. Hey. Yo, Anthony, amazing name. Thank you for the sub. Where are we at on new subs today? So we started at 85.83. We are at 85.90. We got 7 new subs while we've been live. Man, thank you. Welcome to all the new subscribers. Hope you guys are having a good baseball season. Cats is just rude. Yeah, that's what I don't like. I'm okay with having hot takes or even perceptually dumb takes. but don't be toxic about it. And then Sean doesn't ever do that, so I let Sean stay. That Cats guy, I still don't think he's a real guy. I think he's just the ultimate internet troll. Cause yikes, some of the things. All right, Angels at the Mariners. Do we have either of these lineups? Doesn't look like it. We do have a bunch of lineups to go back and tweak. But I say we wrap up the slate and then we'll go back and adjust it, and we'll do questions and all that good stuff. Jose Suarez pitching for the Angels. Luis Castillo for the Mariners. We've got an implied run total of 3.4 for the Angels. That's really good. 4.3 for, that's really bad, but really good for the pitcher. 4.3 for the Mariners. So Suarez on the bump here. $1.25 on the whip last year. 109 innings, 22% K rate. Up against Castillo. It's just really, really good. So far, so good this season. 0 ER, or last season. Wait, something ain't right. Wait a minute. Something ain't right. 6 innings this season with 6 Ks. What's going on here? Why does it say 3.2 innings? Why is that happening? Is there another Luis Castillo? He clearly pitched last year. So Detroit had a Castillo that pitched 3.2 innings. All right, I need to fix something. So the Tigers had a pitcher named Luis Castillo that threw 3 innings last year, and because Detroit populates faster than Seattle, like in alphabetical order, I believe, we are getting mixed stats here. So we interrupt this broadcast to do some nerdy crap. So let's just delete Luis Castillo, because I don't think needing Detroit's Luis Castillo in our projections is necessary. God dang, bro. And that also might interrupt the bomb detector. I think we all know that we're playing, or that Castillo is really good, but I don't want numbers to cross here. So, easy fix. We'll just get to deleting. There's also Luis Garcia. There's a pitcher named Luis Garcia, I believe, for the Astros. And then there's a hitter. All right, we got all the Tigers one. All right, so now we can go back to the index portal, and the live data should be better. Yeah, 150 innings, more than 3.2. 27% K rate last season for Luis Castillo, 3.31 on the expected ERA, and an under 3 actual ERA. He is really good. I was really hoping the Yankees would find a way to make a trade for him. They didn't. It's got a tough matchup today. Up against the Angels, Trout, Ohtani, really good. So it is one of those spots. Well, hey, we have Max in a better spot. We have Bieber in a better spot. But there's a range of outcomes where Castillo is a high, top 5 pitching scorer on the slate. So I do want some access to him. But out of respect for the matchup, he'll be a tier 3 for me. And then just kind of inversely, he doesn't really have much I want to pick on. So if you want to cherry pick the Angels, like Trout, Ohtani, they fall in some lineups. Yeah, those guys are premium elite guys. So that's how I play that one. With Suarez, I do like Mariners overall, especially against lefties. This entire lineup, Sansa, JP, Crawford, has a even the super positive WRC plus against lefties. So if you're not a wow me lefty, low K rate, high whip, I think these guys are absolutely in play. So I'm gonna stack some Mariners against that. And then bomb detector, anything in here? We got a 4+ rating in the bomb detector for Teoscar. So if you had Teoscar the other day against Reed Detmers, maybe you are at the slot machine and you fix it. All right, let's get caught up in chat. Something tells me to play Higgy. Hey man, got that feeling in your bad knee. Do you like Castillo or Mad Max more? Max for sure. It's just a quality of matchup or strength of matchup, strength of schedule, whatever. Max doesn't have to get Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani out today. Not that Rowdy Tellez is not Shohei Ohtani, but yeah. Yeah, 150 likes will be giveaway. What up, ACP? What up, Phil? What the heck was that? It's Phil. Phil, I don't know what you're saying. Guns chat's most wholesome, informative. I appreciate that. Yeah, man, it's all about the vibes, bro. In gambling chats, man, they can get real toxic, male, masculine. I make more money, blah blah blah. I don't like that, bro. We all vibing, bro. We all vibing. Beer's already going down like a fat kid on a slide, bro. What did I hear yesterday? It was somebody was doing a punchy or calling a strikeout. Someone was like, it's like punch. He punched him out like a fat kid at Kmart. I think it's the line that I heard, and I was like, what? Like, what are you even saying? I like LeMahieu at second. Yeah, DJ's. Okay, sorry. It's okay, Phil. I have no idea what you're saying, though. I don't even know how I could. All right, last game on the docket. We'll take a pause for the cause. We'll do a plug, and then after this, we'll fill in the confirmed lineups. And then if you guys came in late or anything like that, question anything you want to talk about or research, we'll look at it. So if you guys want this spreadsheet, it is behind the paywall at rundfs.com. Click VIP memberships. Week pass, 2 week pass. Jesus, what do we have? Month pass. Get the MLB season. This is a pretty good one. $300 with $100 towards Fantasy Cruncher. So you rebate that down to $200, and the year pass $400 with $150. So if you guys are looking to manage a portfolio lineups, I personally use Fantasy Cruncher. So if you took advantage of that voucher and got you some Fantasy Cruncher, you can talk to me in Discord. I can tell you how I do it. So yeah, go to rundfs.com. Once you do that, once you do upgrade, click VIP portal. There's links to the spreadsheets and a link to the rundfs.com VIP Discord. It looks a little something like this. You guys will probably see me in this voice chat for the next couple hours, and you guys are welcome to jump in, introduce yourself, talk some plays. We're laid back Cadillac Jacks. Yesterday, this is probably not gonna be an everyday thing, but every now and then. Yesterday, we were basically in voice chat all night watching baseball. I was screen sharing a lot of the games, especially the Yankee game, and that was kind of fun. So maybe once or twice a week we get away with that, especially these bigger slates where there's a lot more to sweat at the same time, you know. So that's how you can do all that. Anyway, what are we doing? All right, main event tonight. It's hard to pass on Castillo, heavy bet favorite. Yeah. We're running it back in the voice chat. I mean, I don't really have plans. I might do a couple sit-ups, but that'll be after the Yankee game. So maybe I'll be in there for a little bit tonight. I am hungry. I gotta get some food. I donate plasma to play DFS. Nice. When I produce music in my mid-20s, there beer on that. We lived inside a created sphere, matrix cell. I was sent here. All right. All right. Oh, that's great. What's the most you went on DraftKings in one day? On DraftKings, I think maybe 10K in one day. On Fanduel, I've had a couple 20, 30K nights. But I never hit like a million or 100K. 100K is the one that got away, but I don't really chase the 100K that frequently. Usually you'll find me grinding the more EV contests. I love the 25 maxes, the 20 maxes, stuff like that. Fade max, save money with Castillo and Valdez. Yeah, I mean Castillo, if you think about pitch, I mean Max, I still think is in like a league of his own generally. But looking at pitchers overall today, who has the highest ceiling? Castillo does, but there's some there's some uncomfortableness in the opposing lineup. So let's say 30 DraftKings points is the goal. Scherzer could. Bieber probably could. Valdez for me has always been more of a Fanduel play. Just because he is more of a contact pitcher, and that'll play better for the quality start win bonus. So I don't think Valdez hits 230 as much. Castillo possibly could, but I don't know. Maybe. I need this MLB stream every day. Man, I tell you what, the schedule's about to get wonky tomorrow, and I still got to break down this last game, and then we'll do some more stuff. But I believe we looked at the schedule on Saturday morning, and it gets wonky tomorrow, right? There's like day slates tomorrow. Yeah, Yankees play at noon my time, so it's 1 Eastern probably. So like if we did a stream tomorrow, I'd have to get my big butt out of bed, and like I'm okay with that because Saturday you guys made it worth my time, or like you guys seem to. We had like almost 300 viewers Saturday at one point. So maybe, but like understand, like right now, I can't guarantee you that I'm 3 p.m. Eastern every day because the schedule's so weird. But it looks like tomorrow through the weekend. Well, I guess Friday is weird. What's going on Friday? Is it because of the good Eastern? Maybe. Mike and Drew Sports, thank you so much for the sub. Hope you're doing all right. Friday's really weird. I guess this is a Good Friday thing. And then I will say this, on the weekend I have a family reunion. We haven't done that in like 10 years. Obviously I do have an obligation to cover it, but I don't know what my stream schedule is going to look like. So forgive me if I take the weekend off from streaming for the family reunion. I got family coming in from New York. Got ourselves an Airbnb. Pretty jazzy place, like a mini mansion, so looking forward to that. But tomorrow I'll try to get up for you guys. I'll try to get up. I'll look at what's on the airwaves too. All right, main event tonight, Rockies and the Dodgers. We got German Marquez taking on Julio Urias. Run totals here for the Rockies, 2.9. We have 3 teams under a 3 implied run total today. That's incredible. Dodgers 4.8 run total. Mid temps. I don't see a lineup for either. German Marquez talked about it. He's just not that guy anymore. So I'm not pitching against the Dodgers unless you're like elite, and even then I'm pessimistic. With what's on the board on this slate, there's no reason I'm paying $9K for a pitcher against the Dodgers. So I'll just not. Julio Urias 10.2K, 2.81 expected ERA, 24% K rate, 17% called strike. We have seen a game out of him, and I do think the Rockies are a team I'm going to like more against lefties. What do we see? 6 strikeouts in 6 innings against the D-backs. Almost 80 pitches. What was... Let's look at the plate discipline metrics from that game. You like some Steven Matz, Bobby? All right. Game log. Discipline. Playing golf Thursday. I don't play golf. I don't know anything about golf. That's the one sport that like maybe be worth my time to learn because of how much money is involved in golf every week. But I hate sweating crap for 4 days, you know? 11.4% swinging strike rate in that game. Just a 66% first pitch strike. You probably want to see that closer to 70 plus, but just one game sample. And Arizona, I think, is a little scrappy against lefties. So compared to last year, I guess the 66% first pitch strike is par for his course. I don't know. Julio, maybe it's more of a Fanduel play for me. I'm not that enamored with him, but I don't want to necessarily pick on him. But against righties, a 1.1 home run per 9. Maybe we look at Chris Bryant, CJ Cron, guys like that. But probably not going to full send Rocky stacks. Definitely going to be in on some Dodgers. And Urias is probably going to be a tier 3. But if I, like, realistically, if I ran 20 lineups and had 0 Urias, but I was able to get my mix of Max, Framber, Bieber, I'd be just fine with it. So that's probably how I play that. And then I could cherry pick some of the sluggers from the Rockies. CJ Cron and Chris Bryant. 2 guys I'd be worried about. Million up top for $15 entry. Yeah, there's a lot of money in golf. I can't learn them all, y'all. Gonna play their daily golf showdowns, not week long? Maybe. There's people in the Discord that play a lot of golf. 101 likes, 220 viewers. First of all, thank you. There's a time where I was running 30, 40 viewers on baseball content. So it's really special to me to see so many people watch me blabber about baseball. Secondly, Logan has said that if we achieve 150 likes on this stream, he will sponsor a week pass giveaway at rundfs.com. So if you haven't hit that like button, a little incentive, do so. Also, with that latest sub, the subs on this stream, we were at +7. Now we're at +10. So 10 new subscribers while we've been live. If you guys haven't hit that subscribe button, want to hang out, like enjoy the vibes, man, hit that sub button. Trying to make a push for 9,000 subs, and then a push for 10K. It's been a grind getting there. Just started playing golf DFS this year. I've been profitable so far. My boy Luke, you guys might know him. We've had him on the channel before. I know he's really sharp when it comes to golf, so I might be like, yo, Luke, I'll give you some baseball fire, you give me some golf fire, teach me a thing or two, something like that. Yo, what up, head goat? Head goat. I appreciate that. Alright, so let's get some lineups confirmed, y'all. And then if you guys had any questions about the slate or concepts or want to research something, drop it in chat and we'll come back and clean everything up. So first of all, Phillies lineup did come out. Trey Turner, Kyle Schwarber, Alec Bohm. I think we did this and I just didn't greenlight it. Yeah, we did this one already. Rays lineup came out. Yandy Diaz, Brandon Lau, Randy Arozarena, Wander Franco, Luke Rayleigh, Josh Lowe is batting 6th. Christian Bethancourt, Taylor Walls. He's a lefty in this split. Lowercase L. Jose Siri. That's Soze. What the f is a Soze? I'm Kaiser Soze! I'm Jose Canseco. Pirates. O'Neal Cruz, Brian Reynolds, Andrew McCutcheon, Santana, G-Man, Choi batting 5th. Former Yankee great. Brian Hayes is batting 6th. Oh, my man is falling. G. Juan B. Tyler Heineman. Where did he used to play? Cincinnati? Heineman? Nats? I know that name from somewhere. Red Sox lineup: Verdugo, Devers, Justin Turner, Yoshida, Adam Duvall, Tristan Casas, Kike Hernandez is batting 7th. Reese McGuire. So keep an eye on Reese McGuire here. Reese McGuire caught the first 2 Red Sox games against the Orioles, and that's where they had 5 stolen bases in the 10 combined, right? And then was it Connor Wong was the other catcher? So I'm not running to, I don't know, maybe we can look this up. Reese McGuire baseball reference. I don't know that it just has a ton of sample size as it is, but maybe he's especially bad at holding runners, but I don't want to pick on him because of the changes just yet, right? So we'll go fielding. So he has a 0% caught stealing this season, 42% last year. So that's good. But what's the sample size on that? 32 games. 7 stolen bases. All right, so maybe it was just a little bit of bad luck. Maybe. All right, we'll have to keep an eye on that. Just an out loud thought. Brewers lineup is out. Yelich, Jesse Winker, Willie Adames, Rowdy Tellez, Brian Anderson, batting fifth. Garrett, Mitchell, Bryce Turang, Joey Weimer. Yo, who is batting seventh? It's just blank. Yeah, Cruz. No, O'Neal Cruz definitely could run. My second screen just kind of like froze up here. Let me put up Discord. Who was seventh for the Brewers? Oh, Victor Caratini, former Cub and Padre. Didn't Caratini? Wasn't he the one that caught? Did he catch a Joe Musgrove no hitter? Maybe. Maybe I'm just making that up. I feel like he caught like 2 no hitters in like a week or something. Maybe that wasn't him. Alright, added in. Cool. Blue Jays. Blue Jays came out with Springer, Bo Bichette, Vladdy, Matt Chapman. He's got a fast car. Dalton Varsho, Whit Merrifield, Danny Jansen, Santiago Espinal, Kevin Kiermaier. Get that locked in. Do we get an O's lineup? I don't see one. We get a Tigers lineup. We did. Matt Vierling, Javi Baez batting second. Riley Green, Spencer Torkelson, Koss, Miggy, Jonathan Scope, Jake Rogers, Ryan. Like, what are these names? This looks like a Kroger roster. Cool. No offense if you work at Kroger. I didn't mean it like that. I meant like... Alright, cool. Alright, so we're fully caught up. So I'm going to get caught up on chat. Mean GFS Luke? Yeah, Luke's the homie. I've had Luke on this channel when he was just starting out, and I was like, man, this dude's got good content. We need to get him some subs. And he was doing basketball, so he was doing a video on this channel a couple days a week, and then we did some co-streams for NFL. So I'm glad to see him blow up the way he's blowing up. Ben Raza, he's a genius. Yep. You think Giancarlo Stanton playing outfield would benefit his offense? I've heard that theory, and he's been on record to say that when he plays the field, he feels more connected to the game. Now, stuff like that isn't really quantifiable. You know, it's like hot streaks. If you ever played, you get it. You know, you're just sitting there daydreaming on a stool waiting for your number, or you're out there and you feel like you're in there. So I get it. And he has been just fine when he does play the field, but that's not something I can back up with numbers. Me personally, I would say yes, but I can't mathematically boost that in the algorithm just because it's part of the field, you know. What happened to Pete the Heat? I don't know who that is. Revenge Pirates drafted him. Okay. Pavetta give up a ton of steals. All right. What's up? Any cheap pitchers you like on this slate? On this slate, the cheapest I would go at pitcher, and this is not a slate where I want to punt pitcher, but the cheapest I would go, depending on how many lineups I was running. Man. We've seen some Fleming love, but I'm probably not getting below Heaney. But like, I wouldn't think you're crazy if you had a Herman, if you had a Matz, if you took a shot on Dodd. He looked like you. But all these guys are not guys I'm personally playing, because I don't I don't get cute at pitcher. It's just not part of my strategy, you know? You think Volpe would be a big name this year like Didi? I think they're being real smart with how they progress him. For instance, I don't think he should be batting night. Like, if we were just looking at production and metrics, he would be batting like 6 for me right now. Sometimes he'd be leading off. But they're being wise with it. This is a guy they've sat on for years, hung up on you when you tried to call him about trading him. And so far, so good. So I think they're going to slowly let him rise up. Could he be a Rookie of the Year candidate? Possibly. I think Gunnar Henderson of the Orioles is the guy that was favorited last time I talked that. Why is Dodgers so feared? Top 4 are awesome. Bottom 5 is washed and average. Jason Hayward homered last night, Joe. Pete did stochastic MMA. Oh, you know, I know who you're talking about. Did I ever do a show with him? I think I did a show with somebody named Pete once. That might have been him. Actually, I might have. I feel so bad. Maybe I do know him. What up, Joe? You playing Beaver? Yeah, I'm playing Beaver. So my pitching pool, I think it's this. I think I'm gonna settle on these 6, and this emphasis on the first 3. I'll fill out my player pool at each position, all that other stuff here in a little bit. All right, you guys got anything else for me? If not, I'm on Twitter, twitter.com/Gundacker. We'll probably tweet out the bomb detector in a little bit, maybe another hour, and then let's look at the bomb detector. Resort that now that we have a couple more lineups. So we've got Zunino, Salvi, pair of catchers up top, Joey Meneses. Then it kind of evens out. A lot of 4s. Judgy, Schwarber. I think Schwarber's got a real strong shot today in this matchup. No feeling in my bad knee names here, though. And then remember, so the bomb detector's not going to show you guys like the Cardinals. The opposing pitcher doesn't have like big league sample for me to throw into the algorithm. So it's not to say I don't like the Cardinals. I like them quite a bit. Yeah. He has his own channel. I swear, now that we think about it, y'all, I swear I think I did a show with him for baseball on some random morning. I swear I think I did. But it might have just been like one show. And I don't really know him like that. But I swear I did a show with him. I don't know. I did a show with something I can't remember. Now I need to like. I think I'm pretty not. I think I did do one. So my apologies for not knowing at first. Now I think I do know who he is. Okay, cool. That makes him a good play. Who's that? Talking about the bomb detector guys. Yeah, at the top. So the bomb detector basically sniffs out batted ball data and gives us guys that match up the best. So looking at the batted ball data for the hitter and the pitcher, fly balls, pull rates, hard contact, stuff like that. And these are the guys that profile the best if they have a batted ball event with the pitcher today. Am I still a tag team champion? Yeah, belt's right there. I think my next title defense is in May. So we'll see. All right. I gotta update the NBA spreadsheet too. So let me get out of here, y'all. I appreciate you making part of my afternoon, be part of your afternoon. We're gonna go do some more research chatting in the RunDFS.com VIP Discord. If you want to be part of that, go to RunDFS.com. Jump into the Discord. I'll be here in a little bit. I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Tell somebody else out there you love them. Crush it tonight. Let's go, Yankees. Good luck. God bless. Go win some money. Hit that thumbs up.